Yo, kogency Reacts channel. My name subscribe, bro. My subscriber count just went down. Why? Why is my subscriber count going down? And I'm putting in the work. You see, if it was a time where I wasn't uploading, I'd be like, okay, fine. But I literally went live yesterday or like the day before and was going crazy Jamaican, pop the balloons and all of these things. So, bro, why aren't you guys subscribing, bro? Do you want me to stop doing YouTube? If you don't want me to do any more YouTube videos, just let me know, bro, and I'll stop, bro. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, if you want me to do it, just like the video, bro, so I know that you guys like the video. Please. Anyway, the battle for Hackney, 98 versus ZT. Free KO, free Hitman, free DA. Yeah, man. Fuck the streets.
London Borough of Hackney is a borough located within East London. The borough is among the 5 deadliest and most dangerous London boroughs. In 2023, the crime rate within Hackney was 135 crimes per 1,000 people, which is surprisingly higher than surrounding boroughs. Hackney's crime rate actually comes in 29% higher than London's, being 105 crimes per 1,000 people. The population of Hackney is around 279,000 residents, and from an outside look in, on the surface, the borough doesn't seem bad. However, what a lot of people that live in and around Hackney don't know about is the disturbing gang war that has spanned decades and has resulted in kidnappings, shootings, and murders, all being linked to the ongoing war. This being the gang war between 98s based in Homerton and ZT based around the London Fields area within Hackney. These two gangs have actually had a historic beef that has spanned over 3 decades, being one of London's oldest postcode rivalries. Now, the London Field Boys, or ZT, is a large street gang based within the London Fields area in Hackney E8. The ZT gang is mainly based around the Blackstone Estate and the Moorland Estate. However, they also operate in other surrounding estates. The older generation of ZT is known as the London Field Boys, or LFB for short, whilst the younger generation is known as ZT, or Zero Tolerance. The gang is also referred to as Mashtown and simply Fields. Anyways, the London Field Boys was originally created as an offshoot from the older Hackney Boys. As the London Field Boys made up most of the Hackney Boys in membership, it would be around this time, being the 1990s and 2000s, that the London Field Boys would be significant in the gang war between TMD or Tottenham Mandem and the Hackney Boys. It would be around the late 2000s that members of the London Field Boys would create a music group, this being referred to as Mashtown, with this group being affiliated with the London Field.
Oh! This was the group that Margs was in. Margs, that's on Filthy Fellas right there. Big up Margs.
Boys. Following the gang war between the Hackney Boys and TMD, younger generations of both gangs became more prominent within the streets, one of these being the London Field Boys, which became prominent within the streets and had begun to beef the nearby Holly Street and Homerton gangs. In recent years, a younger offshoot gang to the London Field Boys would become a lot more significant in the streets, this gang being referred to as ZT, or Zero Tolerance, which is the gang that was portrayed in Netflix's successful show, Top Boy.
ZTs stand for Zero Tolerance. For any other gang, for anyone else shotting on the streets, and they all work for me.
However, we can't talk about ZT without talking about their main rivals, 98s. On the opposing...
Like, imagine that, bro. Imagine being 98 and, you know, there's a whole Netflix series and there's a whole series on Netflix about your war that's going on right now, and you probably involved in a lot of the things, or you probably know about, like, as a 98s nigga. But then imagine as a London Fields nigga, and niggas is making Netflix documentary, Netflix series, multiple seasons of your gang and what you guys get up to, and you're still in the gang and the gang's still active. No, brother, I'd feel like a superstar.
Side of ZT is a large street gang known as 98s. The 98s gang is actually 2 small street gangs based on different postcodes within Hackney, these being the postcodes E9 and E8, hence the name 98s. The gang based on the E9 postcode is known as Niners. However, the gang is also referred to as Homerton, as that is the main territory that the gang takes up. The Niners gang goes all the way back to the 1990s, with the Hackney Boys originally drawing members from E9. The current Niners way back to...
Margs was actually in Ballistics video.
The 1990s, with the Hackney
Mashtown.
Boys originally
Mugs, you know.
Drawing members from E9. The current Niners gang from E9 was originally an offshoot gang from older gangs based around the E9 postcode. An example of this was CBR, or Certified Balance Road, with this gang sharing an alliance with E5, this being referred to as 925. This alliance was formed around 2007 and was the affiliation between Balance Road, based within E9, and Pembury within the E5 postcode, with these two gangs still being affiliated after nearly 20 years. The Niners gang is affiliated with Pembury, Hoxton, and most importantly Holly Street. Now, Holly Street, or the Holly Street Boys, are a street gang based around the Holly Street estate within the E8 postcode. This gang is very closely allied with Niners, with these two gangs making up the larger 98's gang. The Holly Street gang has been operating since the 1980s. However, the gang has gone by different names throughout the years. One of the more significant names was that of Rowdy Bunch, which was a group of young members from surrounding areas. And it would be the younger generation to Rowdy Bunch, this being known as Junior Rowdy Bunch, that would then become referred to as Holly Street. The Holly Street gang is actually known to be one of the biggest and richest street gangs within the London borough of Hackney. In recent years, the Holly Street gang would form a close alliance with nearby Niners, creating the gang 98s, as both gangs have territory on the E9 and E8 postcode. Now, for years, the Holly Street gang has had a rivalry with nearby London Fields, or ZT, with this being known to be one of London's oldest ongoing postcode war. This war spanning from the early 1990s to present day. Prominent members of 98s include Unknown T, who is a part of the Niners set, KO, also a part of the Niners set, and Billy Billions, who is a part of the Holly Street set within the 98s gang. Now, the 98s gang is affiliated with Hoxton, Pembury, and Essex Road, whilst the 98s gang has beef with nearby EC1, A Road, and most importantly London Fields. However, you may be confused as to why these two gangs have had a deadly rivalry for almost 3 decades that has resulted in multiple people dying. Now, the beef between 98s and ZT was started around the late 1980s and early 1990s, and is alleged to be due to a junior Rowdy member allegedly attacking and stabbing a member from the London Fields gang, with this member then being charged with manslaughter. However, this is only alleged and may be wrong, so if you have any other information, drop it in the comments. Anyways, during the early days of the beef, members associated with London Fields and members associated with 98s would clash, with it being said that there were 30 members of London Fields and only 10 members of Holly Street, E8, with this clash then turning into one of London's first postcode riots. A lot of these street brawls would occur between London Fields and Holly Street around this time, with it slowly escalating into a more dangerous beef, and it would be around 2003 that the first person would be killed as a result of the rivalry. In 2003, a member of the London Field Boys, known as JD, would begin to gain attention within the streets of Hackney, this mainly being due to the fact that JD's brother was a well-known and respected member of LFB known as CS, who was even alleged to have been the boss of LFB at the time. This then resulting in JD becoming a very loved member of LFB, so it would come as a surprise that in June 2003, JD would sadly fall victim to the streets, with the death of JD marking a war.
No, because the fact that he is a loved member, but his love comes from the rating that his older brother gets, and the love is not from like work that he put in, that makes him a target. For other drillers, for other gang members, that makes him the biggest target. Because they probably know he ain't like that. Not saying he wasn't like that, but saying when the love that you get in the hood is from, you know, your big brother's name, or your dad's name, or your uncle's name, niggas gonna try you to see if you are your big brother, to see if you are your uncle, to see if you are your older, to see if you are your father. You understand? Niggas gonna try you, bro. So it's like kind of better when you get your own name and your own love in the gang thing, bro. Because the niggas going scared of you and not try you as much. You know what I mean? Or maybe I'm bugging.
June 2003, JD and other LFB members would be on their way home from a street party. The members would walk for a few minutes before arriving at the junction of Lansdowne Drive and Shrubland Road within Hackney. 2 members of Holly Street, these being Pepe and Aaron, would be in a car and would see the LFB members. The Holly Street members would shoot JD in the leg before then shooting him in the chest with a shotgun. The attackers would flee and JD would attempt to escape the attackers. JD would actually be able to jump over a wall before collapsing to the ground and being pronounced dead only moments later. Police police and emergency services would arrive on the scene and would launch a murder investigation. Both members affiliated with Holly Street would be arrested following this attack, these being Pepe and Aaron. They would both be charged with the murder, and later, in 2005, would be sentenced to life with a minimum of 15 years, with one of the members even snitching on the other in order to reduce the time he was sentenced to. Rest in peace, JD. Following the death of JD, the beef between Holly Street and London Fields would escalate into a war, with both gangs now having a deadly beef with each other, with members often catching each other, this then resulting in stabbings, shootings, and brawls occurring between each side of the rivalry. It would be around this time that London Fields would also be in a deadly war with the TMD gangs from Tottenham, with this beef also getting dangerous, resulting in the deaths of Marga, WH, and Skip, who was killed only months after JD was killed. However, this isn't—
Yo, is Marga like Marg's old or something like that? Cause those names are very familiar.
Marga, WH, and Skip, who was killed only months after JD was killed. However, this isn't the rivalry I'll be discussing in this video. Now, not much is known about the beef following
the road things is just too much stress, bro. You hear how much death the man them deal with, and that's not even the war we're talking about today. We're talking about a completely different war. So let's hear about some other bodies. Oh my god.
Death of JD. So I'll only really be discussing the main events and drills, and it would be around the early 2010s that a young member of LFB would start to get active within the streets, this member being known as D-Dot, who was only 15 when he would start to gain attention. However, in the following months, rival members would start to notice him, and on his 16th birthday, he would sadly— in the streets, this member being known as D-Dot, who was only 15 when he would start to gain attention. However, in the following months, rival members would start to notice him, and on his 16th birthday, he would sadly fall victim to the streets, with this incident resulting in members creating ZT or zero tolerance in his honor. On the 24th of April 2013, a member of London Fields known as D-Dot would be out celebrating—
Bro, what could he have been doing at 15 to make you niggas so mad? Did he catch a body on one of y'all other young niggas on your side? Is he like trapping in y'all spot and refuses to leave? What happened? I don't understand what kind of... I know there's a lot of 15-year-olds can do, you know. But what did he do though? You know what I mean?
His 16th birthday. At around 3 p.m., D-Dot would be traveling on the 393 bus in North London when a member of Pembury known as Skid would spot him. The two members would seemingly have a confrontation before Skid would retrieve a knife and would stab D-Dot multiple times. Skid would flee following the attack, and the bus driver would pull over calling the police. Emergency services would arrive on the scene and would treat D-Dot before he would be airlifted to a nearby hospital. However, sadly, only hours later, D-Dot would be pronounced dead in the hospital. With a murder investigation being launched following the attack, Skid would be arrested after the murder and would be charged. Later in November 2013, Skid would be found guilty and would be sentenced to 12 years for the murder. Rest in peace, D-Dot. Following the death of D-Dot, his friends would form a new set known as ZT, which has become very popular in the UK drill scene, with rappers like Ballistic, Asko, and Lats dropping songs that gained millions of views. A prominent member of Niners known as V9 would actually show love to D-Dot on Facebook, which just shows that some of these guys used to be friends before the beef. Show love to D-Dot on Facebook, which just shows prominent member of Niners known as V9 would actually show love to D-Dot on Facebook, which just
really? That's how you know this road shit is weird and all interconnected. Everybody was friends, everybody's cousins, everybody's low-key cool with certain niggas from the other side. Certain niggas, yo, if they see them, they ain't gonna blam them, but if they see the other nigga, then yeah, it's gonna, like, bro, it's fuckery. That's what it is. This road thing is fuckery.
Shows that some of these guys used to be friends before the beef got deadly, and they had to choose a side, with V9 beginning to diss D-Dot years later in music, after ZT would get back and kill a loved member of Niners in one of the most brutal and violent ways, with this member being known as J-Dot. Around the end of 2014, a member of 98's known as J-Dot would get close to an 18-year-old girl. The girl would gain J-Dot's trust. However, unbeknownst to J-Dot, she was friends with rival ZT members, and on the 6th of January 2015, the girl would arrange to meet J-Dot in Hackney. When J-Dot would arrive, rival ZT members Trey, Psycho, and Asbo would attack him. However, luckily J-Dot would be able to flee the attackers, making it out alive. During this time, J-Dot was actually unaware that he was set up by the girl, and over the next few hours, the ZT members would search the E9 postcode for J-Dot. However, they couldn't find him. The girl would arrange to meet J-Dot and his friend around Hummerton High Street. The attackers would then be fed this information and would arrive on the scene moments later. J-Dot would be stabbed 3 times in the chest, with one of his wounds breaking his ribs and piercing his heart. The attackers would flee following.
Let me hear that again, bro.
Few hours, the ZT members would arrange to meet J. in Hackney. When J. would arrive, rival ZT members Trey, Psycho, and Asbo would attack him. However, luckily J. would be able to flee the attackers.
So you set me up one time and I got away and I somehow go back to, like, I somehow still managed to talk to this girl. Fam, no girl is that hot, fam. No girl is that leng. No pussy is that good. No head is that great, bro. Like, her vagina bleeds every month, bro. Like, come on, bro. Like,
Dot would be stabbed 3 times in the chest, with one of his wounds breaking his ribs and piercing his heart. The attackers would flee following the attack, with police and emergency.
But don't get me wrong, though. This is 2015, so niggas was probably 15, you know, teenagers at the time. So niggas don't even know, you know what I'm saying? That's why you need elders around you, bro, to tell you, yo, go to the bruv, stop catting for sex, bro. I'll bring a thought to the block so your young niggas can bust it down and, you know, getting the rocks off. That way you guys not lacking on the up block or just lacking in general while other niggas is lurking because you think you with your dick. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, not saying I would have been a good gang older, but bro, I wouldn't have my young niggas doing certain things, dog. Especially if I went through certain things already, bro. Every weekend, yeah, we're having the Bluefoots come through. Yeah. Every weekend or every couple of weekend. Yeah. Man them, yeah, bring something back to the block. Yeah, man them just bust it down for 3 bills, 5 bills. Yeah, bro, like them, yeah, dog, like, cause we can avoid situations like this. You know what I mean?
Services arriving on the scene moments later. However, despite the attempts of medical professionals, J. would sadly be pronounced dead only moments later, with another murder investigation being launched. The investigation would see the arrests of 4 people, including the girl, who would be found guilty and would be given 14 years in prison. Trey from ZT would be found guilty of the murder and would investigation being launched. The investigation would see the arrests of 4 people, including the girl, who would be found guilty and would be given 14 years in prison. Trey from ZT would be found guilty of the murder and would be sentenced to life with 14 years in prison.
He was a straight A student. So, bro, he probably wasn't even thinking about, the man them gonna, yeah. But I mean, if his name was J. that mean he must, you know, at least outside a little bit. To at least be affiliated, you know what I'm saying? Because niggas ain't just gonna give you the name J just and you're a straight A student and you're not on nothing, you know what I mean? I don't know, but obviously he was affiliated to some sort, you know what I mean?
Prison. Trey from ZT would be found guilty of the murder and would be sentenced to life with a minimum of 16 years. Psycho, who would be sentenced to life with a minimum of 18 years and 6 months. And an unnamed 14-year-old boy, who is thought to be Asbo from ZT, would be sentenced to 12 years for his role in the murder of J. Rest in peace, J. Following the death of J. an image would start to surface on the internet. This image depicted J.'s dead body, with it being extremely graphic, showing all of the wounds and scars that he had sustained from the attack. And it would be in 2022 that an unreleased song would be leaked onto the internet, this being titled JD's Corpse, and was an extremely disrespectful song, with the rapper being Lats. Lats would actually rap one of the most disturbing choruses, with him rapping, "We got a picture of JD's corpse, free Asbo, always in my thoughts. He ain't got no remorse behind the cell doors." With this being one of the most insane bars I think I've personally ever heard. Rest in peace, J. It would be following the death of J. that members on both sides would begin to drop music in the underground UK drill.
Wait. So if Asbo been behind bars since age 12, that mean he was 11 when he yinged this nigga up? Did I... Bro, am I hearing this correctly? An 11...
scene. In 2016, a member of ZT known as Asko would drop UK drill anthems. An example of this would be Zuvi, which gained loads of attention and currently sits on around 1.1 million views. He would also drop a song titled Last Night in London Fields, which sits on around 2.8 million views. It would also be around 2017 that a young member of Niners would begin to gain attention, this being Unknown T, who would drop a song titled Bop with Smoke, which sits on around 888,000 views. But it wouldn't be until 2018 that Unknown T T would drop a serious UK anthem that blew his career into the mainstream UK rap scene. It would also be around 2017 that an active member of Niners would begin to get active within the streets, this member being known as Shegs or Sheggy, who would allegedly go on to kill 2 people before then becoming victim to the streets himself.
Wow.
On the 13th of November 2017, 6 members of Niners, including Shegs, would travel from E9 to Stoke Newington, which is around a 15-minute drive. The 6 members would spot an alleged affiliate of Stokey 16, which is a gang that's based around Stoke Newington and has had beef with 98s for years. Anyways, the 6 members would see Khan Aslan, who was supposedly in the wrong place at the wrong time. The 6 members would jump out on Khan Aslan and would stab him multiple times, with one of these wounds even going through his heart. The 6 attackers would flee following this attack, with police and emergency services being called to the scene. Sadly, Khan Aslan would be pronounced dead on the scene, with a murder investigation being launched moments later. This investigation would only see the arrest of one member, this being a member known as Bruno, who would be arrested shortly after the murder and would be charged for it. Bruno would actually be the only one ever arrested, and in 2019, he would be found guilty and would be sentenced to life with a minimum of 27 years. Rest in peace, Khan Aslan. Now, the beef would be very hot during this time, and only around 2 months after the death of Khan Aslan, another person would fall victim to the streets. However, this time, the person that would die would have no relation to any beef, with them being a civilian, and unknown T even fighting the murder charge. On the 1st of January 2018, multiple members of the Niners gang would be attending a New Year's party. The members thought to have been present would be unknown T and Shegs, as well as a few other unknown 98s members. A civilian known as Steve Narvaez Jara would also be present at the party. Steve would approach the 98s members and would have an argument with them about a girl. The 98s members would begin to get aggressive, with the incident turning into a massive brawl, with
You see that, dog? You see why I don't go to parties anymore as well, bro? Like, it's just fuckery, fam. Fuckery. Man coming up to you, bro. Probably, you know, the man, probably somebody said something to a girl, and it's probably his girl, or, you know, his friend, and him come for defend her, and then no, this young nigga is dead because he tried to defend his friend. Because I'm probably sure this nigga weren't on no beef thing, bro.
Dozens of people hitting and kicking Steve. He would also be stabbed and would be rushed to hospital moments later. However, despite the attempts of medical professionals, Steve would sadly be pronounced dead in hospital hours later, with a murder investigation being launched. The investigation would actually be silent for months, with them searching for the killers. However, by the time they could charge anyone, Shegs would have become a victim to the streets. Police would then charge unknown T and 2 others for the murder. However, they would all beat the case. Rest in peace, Steve Narvaez Jara. Due to the fact that Shegs was becoming well known in the streets, his rivals would be looking for any chance to catch him, and sadly this road lifestyle would catch up to him in April 2018, only 4 months after the death of Steve Narvaez Jara. It would be around 2018 that only 4 months after the death of Steve Narvaez Jara. It would be around 2018 that young members of both gangs would begin to drop serious UK drill bangers. In February 2018, Lats from ZT would drop a song titled Smackdown, which gained loads of attention, currently sitting on around 1.1 million views. Both gangs would gain millions of views in 2018, with rappers like Unknown T from 98s and Ballistic from ZT gaining tens of millions of views. However, despite all of the new eyes looking in on the music scene, there was still a war going on within the streets, and it would be Shegs that would sadly be the next person to die as a result of the beef. On the 4th of April 2018, Shegs would be pedal biking through his block in order to meet some friends. However, what he didn't know was that 2 of his ops would be on the lurk. Moments later, Shegs would spot his 2 ops, these 2 being known as B2 and TB. Once the 2 parties would see each other, a night
B2 and TB. Bro, are these niggas like a deadly duo or something, dog? What you mean B2 and TV, bro? Like, bro, these niggas sound like a rap duo.
Spot his 2 ops, these 2 being known as B2 and TB. Once the 2 parties would see each other, a knife fight would ensue. Shegs would actually stab B2 multiple times. However, whilst he was attacking B2, TB would stab Shegs multiple times, with one of the stab wounds piercing his heart. Sadly, Shegs would be pronounced dead.
Oh, you see, dog? Oh my god. The man was just outnumbered, bro. What can you do? You literally can't fight 2 swords at once, bro. What are you supposed to do? Bro, you can never always have, you know what I'm saying, 100 man around you, bro. So, like, dog, this road thing, dog, low it, dog. Low that shit, dog. No, brother. Like, jump off road, bro. Stop that shit, dog. Bro, the nigga is literally handling his business with the nigga in front of him, and because this nigga over here just, you know what I'm saying, unfair advantage, bro. Like, but I get it still, you know, you guys are on the lurk to catch the M. I get it by any means necessary, but we ain't gonna give you a fair one-on-one. That's not what we're here for. We're here to get you down. I get it. But bro, the nigga was literally handling his business, bro. Nigga was poking up the other nigga, bro. And it, nah, man. R.I.P., man. Damn, man.
On the scene. With police and emergency services arriving shortly after the attack, a murder investigation would be launched. This saw the arrest of B2, whose blood would be found on the scene. B2 would be charged and found guilty for the murder. He would then be sentenced to life with a minimum of 17 years. TB would actually flee the country following the attack, with it being alleged he's still on the run. Rest in peace, Shegs. Shegs is actually remembered in loads of 98 songs. In Unknown T's Fire in the Booth, he would rap "Rest Up Sheggy, he got B2 no leggies," with this being a reference to how B2 was stabbed on the same occasion Shegs died on. Following the death of Shegs, a member of Niners known as Unknown T would drop a UK drill anthem titled Homerton B, which blew up and currently sits on around 29 million views, with this level of success blowing Unknown T up, with him even starting to be booked for shows across UK, which is crazy for someone who has such close ties to the streets. However, Niners weren't the only gang blowing in the UK drill scene. ZT would also be
Unknown T is in Sidemen videos now, bro. Unknown T streets now, bro.
Gaining attention, with a member known as Ballistic dropping a UK drill banger titled Who's Next. This song gained loads of attention and currently sits on around 14 million views, which is crazy numbers for a UK drill rapper. Now, the beef between 98s and ZT would continue following the death of Shegs. However, a lot of the incidents that occurred between the gangs aren't actually known, so I won't be discussing the alleged incidents between the gangs. It would be around 2019 and 20 that new members from 98s would gain attention. These members included V9, KO, and DA, who all gained millions of views after dropping serious UK drill anthems, and it would be in September 2020 that all of these rappers would link up and would drop one of the most well-known UK drill albums, this being titled Class of 98, which gained loads of attention, with each song on the album having hundreds of thousands of views. If anything, it was clear that the rappers from both ZT and 98s had serious potential and had begun showing this in the UK drill music scene. ZT would also be making noise around 2020, with a member known as Blacka dropping seriously disrespectful bars, with fans even questioning if he was as active as he made out to be. However, it would be in October 2020 that Blacka would prove how dangerous he was, with Blacka currently serving 35 years for this incident. On the 11th of October 2020, Blacka and another man would arm themselves with a machine pistol and would travel around.
Hey, you know what's crazy, bro? 11th of October 2020, isn't that COVID? Or was it 2021? No, I'm sure 11th of October 2020, that was COVID. Niggas is sliding in COVID.
2020, Blacka and another man would arm themselves with a machine pistol and would travel around Hackney in search of any rival gang members. The two members would come to a stop near a children's playground within the E9 postcode. Blacka would then raise his gun and would start shooting randomly into the park. He would shoot around 13 bullets and would hit 3 people. This included a 60-year-old, 32-year-old, and 24-year-old who would be...
You see what I mean, bro? Like, bro. This nigga just shooting in a park, bro, at random people, bro. Like, you can't even respect shit like that, dog. Like, you can't respect that, dog.
Rushed to hospital following the shooting and were not involved in the beef. Luckily, all 3 would make a recovery. With the 2 attackers fleeing in a stolen car, an investigation would be launched following the shooting, with officers watching hundreds of hours of CCTV, with them eventually arresting Blacka and the second man. Both men would be found guilty and would be sentenced. Blacka would be sentenced to 35 years, whilst the other man was sentenced to 27 years. Following the violent triple shooting, members from both gangs would be seriously popping in the music scene. An example of this was KO, who by this time had amassed around 100,000 monthly listeners on Spotify, dropping serious bangers like Niner Ting and Avengers, which both have over 10 million streams on Spotify. However, KO would find himself fighting a murder case that he got himself wrapped up in around the height of his career, with 2 people being killed in 2022. On the 3rd of June 2022, an OG member of LFB known as Hypo would be at a party within East London. He would get into an altercation with a bouncer present at the party. This bouncer was actually known as Bigga and was from Enfield. Hypo would threaten Bigga with a Rambo-style knife. Bigga would then leave this altercation, returning with a kitchen knife, which Bigga then used to stab Hypo multiple times in the chest. Police and emergency services would be called.
God, like, if that's true, like, bro, what happened for the man to threaten the man, bro? Cause then the nigga left and came back, the nigga could have just left, bro. The nigga did not have to come back, bro. But considering when name Bigger from Enfield sound like he's a road nigga as well, you ain't gonna tell no road nigga how you gonna chef him up and it's just gonna go like that. That ain't gonna happen, bro. And then I guess if it does happen, then niggas gonna say, oh, Bigger ain't on nothing, cause such and such said he was gonna chef him up in his chest, and you know what I'm saying, he just left, he just went home and he held that. Like, you see what I mean, bro? Cause Bigger just I say, yo, you just threaten me in front of everybody. No, everybody see me hold a violation there. No, you have hold a violation, yeah. I probably just, you see me, like them little minor something that, bro, just end up turning into life and death situations, bro. Probably a little minor disagreement, and then because you want to get the upper hand in the argument, you start threatening man and getting on your feelings. And man say, I'm a life you threaten? Alright. Now from you start threatening man life, you can't go back on that in a dog. Bro.
Called to the scene following the stabbing. However, sadly, Hypo would be pronounced dead only moments later, with a murder investigation being launched. Bigga would be arrested shortly after the attack and would stand trial. However, he would be cleared of the charges on the basis of self-defense. Rest in peace, Hypo. Following the death of Hypo, members within the LFB gang would begin to have an issue with each other, as Bigga's cousin is actually an LFB member known as Tiny. This then meaning that the LFB gang had started to have in-house issues. However, these have luckily not escalated to anything serious. It would only be around 2
Oh, well, yeah, that can't escalate into issues. Niggas just going to be mad that, bro, your brother or cousin just killed our best friend, and that nigga ain't even from here. You're from here, so you need to go deal with that nigga. But it's like, one, if I'm Bigger's cousin, bro, what you mean? The nigga told Bigger say, I'm gonna chef him in his chest. Bigger handle his business. What you want? What, like, yeah, I get it. He was our guy. And but bro, like, if you tell someone that you're gonna ying them in the chest, what do you expect them to do, bro? They're gonna have to either fight or flight. It's one or the two, bro, and he decided to fight. Like, you cannot tell someone that you're going to physically harm them and expect nothing to come of it. That's just not how life works. Especially Funa life, the gang life, the road life, street life. You guys know that. You're not supposed to know that more than anybody. What? Threaten man? With big Rambo knife? Come on, man. Don't do that, man. Like, I can't say how that can start an in-house beef when literally is your nigga saying I'm gonna chef him up first.
cousin is actually an LFB member known as Tiny. This then meaning that the LFB gang had started to have in-house issues. However, these have luckily not escalated to anything serious. It would only be around 2 months after the death of Hypo that a member of 98's known as Gashi would be stabbed by ZT members. 98's members would plan to spin back following the stabbing on Gashi, and only a day later, 98's members including KO and Hitman would get their retaliation. On the 13th of August 2022, 4 members associated with the 98's gang would ride out onto rival ZT territory. Both KO and Hitman would be present on this ride out as well as 2 other members. The members would spot God. KB, who was a member.
But that's the thing though, like why are niggas present though? Like just invest. That's your job after a certain point, bro. You're an investor, bro. You're a master. Let me stop. What I'm really trying to say is, bro, you don't need to be hands-on after a while, bro. Like, just genuinely, bro. Like, and I know it's sometimes niggas in your gang going make you feel away because, man, you ain't even doing what we're doing, bro. You're just in a beef, bro. You're just a rapper, bro. You understand? But that's why you need enforcers. So that way, anytime niggas like that start run up them mouth, handle that quickly. No, we're not dealing with, we're not tolerating that disrespect. No. Everybody has to play their role. Everybody cannot be inside the dinger. Everybody cannot be inside the dinger. Everybody cannot be pulling the trigger. Everybody cannot be swinging their yinger. Like, however it rhyme, bro, everybody cannot be doing everything. Like, bro, like, play your role, bro. Play your role, bro. Play your role.
member of ZT and the older LFB gang, KB was actually celebrating at his baby's first birthday party. When the members would pull up shooting at him, KB would be
At his baby's first. Bro, niggas can't even have kids. Bro, it's his baby's first birthday. Niggas can't even have kids, bro. Nigga probably was trying to get his life together. And just because his friends stabbed somebody from the other side, I'm celebrating my kid's birthday party. His first birthday, him literally born 12 months ago. You know, the last 12 months of my life have been crazy. I got a newborn baby here. It's his first birthday. It's, you know. But because my friend stabbed somebody on the other side of town, I have to pay the price. Bro, there's nothing you could ever say to me that could ever tell me, say, being a gang member or being on road life is worth it or cool. Or, bro, there's nothing about this shit that is appealing, bro. Nothing.
actually celebrating at his baby's first birthday party. When the members would pull up shooting at him, KB would be hit in this shooting and would sadly be pronounced dead on the scene. With paramedics and police arriving moments later, a murder investigation would be launched following the murder. KO knew that he was going to be arrested in connection, so he would hit the studio, recording as much music as possible. However, only days later, KO and Hitman, as well as other members present, would all be arrested for the murder. And it would—
Wow. So they knew they were going to, because that's alright, that's the thing, you see? That here we know. We're gonna get into the seriousness of this, you know. Because in this street shit, right? When them friend go get touched, you see that rapid response thing? Like, yes, it gives you a good name, but in terms of like the feds and beating cases, that just makes it way worse. That rapid response shit, yeah. You're basically letting the feds know everything that just happened last week is in response to each other. So as long as you can connect these dots, connect all these events, and connect who was involved in these events, then you're gonna have a lot of cases. So like when you might take the L now, but the man them just sit back and just might not be the next day, or the next day, or the next day. But this shit don't got an expiry date, bro. This shit is for life, nigga. So I don't need to jump up and go do this tomorrow. I don't need to. But I get it though. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole reason why they're even in a gang in the first place, is because they don't think clearly and logically in the first place. So I can't expect them to be taking the necessary precautions to stay out of prison. You know, because that's the whole reason why they're gang members in the first place. You know what I mean? Anyway, let's finish the video.
would be in the end that all 4 members were charged and found guilty for the murder of KB. All 4 members have been convicted but are yet to be sentenced. Rest in peace, KB. During the trial, the court would actually use a song that KO would release a month following the death of KB. This song being titled Laughing Stock, with some very disrespectful bars that allude—
Now yeah, funny how with a laughing stock someone gets slapped and a laughing stops.
to the incident, with KO rapping, "Funny how we are the laughing stock. Someone gets slapped, now the laughing stopped," as well as another bar, "Big Booth and Little Booth."
Yeah, bro. Both got slapped at functions, neck and head handguns come at, bro, like what?
Got hit. Same sig, that's a sour family. With this bar in particular referring to how both Booth and his older brother were both shot with the same pistol, presumably a Sig Sauer pistol. The arrests of KO and Hitman would affect 98's members heavily, with KO being extremely close to blowing in the drill scene. However, he chose to focus on the road life, and now must deal with the consequences. Since the death of KB, no other major incidents have occurred within the streets. If you have learned anything from this video, make sure that it's to stay away from the road life, as this life only ever leads to jail or death, with a prime example of this being KO, who was so close to blowing in the drill scene, but chose to focus on the road life, and is now facing life in prison. Rest in peace, everyone.
Yeah, and DA already got sentenced to life. He's like doing 30 plus right now, bro, for not snitching on another shooting case, bro. It's like, or it's the same. I don't know, bro. Whatever the fuck, fam. DA is a lyrical miracle spiritual. KO is a lyrical miracle spiritual. Hitman full of vibes. The whole of the 90 is just, you see me, have vibes and just good at rapping, bro. You know what I'm saying? But, you know what I'm saying, they didn't want to take the Unknown T route because niggas probably laugh at Unknown T behind the scenes because they're going to say, nah, you know what I'm saying? Twigs saying he ain't jumping in the digger. He ain't Ray, but he was on the remix for Laughing Stock, so y'all niggas still cool with him. So if he cannot be in the dinger and still be touring the world, you know what I'm saying, doing his thing, why the other rappers couldn't just focus, bro, and just get out the hood and just, bro, you know how, bro, you guys would win the beef way more if you just had more money than these niggas, cause money talks, bullshit walks, bro. As long as you have more money than these niggas, you're going to outlast them in the streets, bro. Like, but anyway, what am I talking about, bro? I'm trying to give niggas the blueprint on how to last long in the streets. No, don't even join the streets. Stay home. Try get some money. Get a girl. Get her pregnant. Get a girl and just go get your children. Kogency and I'm out.